All right. Good afternoon.
Yo!
My mic was off. That's a cracking start.
Oh, we're on
Guys,
already.
the market is in a bit of turmoil today. We've woken up. We've seen a little bit of red. Let us know in the comments if you shit yourself a little bit seeing the charts this morning. There was a little bit of a fake out, and we're going to cover today what we're looking at, what to look out for, and what's coming up. And of course, if we hit our target, which today we're going to bump it up a little bit to 30 likes, we get 30 likes, we're going to drop
I think that's
to,
fair game.
I reckon that's fair.
Fair game. We got a lot to cover. We got a lot of alpha.
We got heaps of
We
alpha
got
for you today.
heaps.
But we are going to drop two little altcoins that we've been keeping our eyes on. So let us know in the comments where you're from. Connor, balls of steel, mate. And please, guys, smash that like button. I know it's just a small little thing from you guys, but you would not understand how much that helps us. So first off, Matty, the market today, we've seen Bitcoin dump from about 119,000 to 114,000 range, mate. What's going on?
You see the smile on my face?
I do see the smile on your face. Why?
Oh, guys. So this was very predictable. Like, this was probably one of the most predictable dumps on the altcoins and Bitcoin that I've seen in a very long time.
And why would you say that? What did you see?
Look, I put up the chart. We spoke about it on Monday on the
show me the
live
chart?
call. I'll show you guys in a second.
All right.
Right? But I think I wanted to cover, and like we spoke about this as well, how important it is just to understand these critical levels with Bitcoin, right? These daily levels that take effect and all the macro news that happened this week that you covered on your Tuesday call,
Yeah.
right? That macro news we knew was going to have a shake-up of the markets.
Definitely. We did tell everyone on my Tuesday call to expect a bit of a dump coming into Thursday FOMC meeting. But we did see a bit of a significant pullback, and it's still pulling back. And that's where now we need to digest what's happening in the market. Let's dive in.
I think one thing that's very important, right, is the uncertainty.
Yeah.
That's why this week we knew there was going to be some red, and it just was not worth the risk of entering charts and entering trades and things like that. We're just like, you know what? Let's let the shit show go through.
Just let it
Let
play
it go.
out.
I like to trade when there's a reasonable level of certainty in trades. Right now, with all that macro news that happened, I was like,
Show me, mate.
let's
What are we
watch.
looking at? Let's
All
have a
right,
look. Come on,
fine.
man. Fuck.
All right,
Put
let's
me
get
to
into
sleep,
it.
bro.
Let's
The
get
poor
into it.
viewers, they're going to start falling
Let's get
asleep
into it.
soon too.
Fine.
Come on.
All right.
Show us the juice.
I'm
Where
going to
are
get
we?
straight into it.
All right. Happy New Year.
All right.
Let's go.
Happy New Year.
Matty, tell me.
Guys, this is the biggest chart that I've been talking about probably all week. It is the total market
Wait a second.
cap.
We got a comment there from Lewis Kaza. A dump. Seds, weren't you calling for 130K like 3 days ago? If you read the status, Lewis, I don't know, but you should have gone Specsavers, mate. If you read the status, it does clearly say I'm predicting it within the next 2 to 3 weeks.
You did say that. I can verify. Seds is very much a perma bull. That is true. But he did verify with a very clear timeline.
We're going to give him a nice coupon for Specsavers. We'll fix him up. We'll get him a nice pair of glasses.
I would have been the first one to label you if I needed to. Guys, so we covered this. I also did a reel on it on Wednesday, right? You can see here, this is one of the biggest charts that I look at every Monday on my live call, alongside a couple of others. Not going to go into all of them. But this one here was the big one. So we had what is called, again, not everyone's going to know this. I made that very clear as well. The 113 fib level. It is a major resistance point within the market. It is where institutions typically like to offload their bags. So it's one level that you should always be watching for, and it's important to make sure you put it in the right places on your charts. But you can see we have what is a resistance point here. We've attempted it once. We were attempting it twice. The second attempt has failed. Now we've broken down. We're currently sitting at support. Now, this here is a double top reversal pattern. Has not completely played out. We're sitting at support as it stands. But I did say we're probably going to see about 8 to 9% wiped off the altcoin market again. And right now, that is what happened last night with the news as well that was coming out over the last couple of weeks. So it's been red. We've had some amazing pumps, but it's normal for the market to pull back. So I guess to sum this part up here, guys, what I'm waiting for on this chart in particular, I'm waiting to see what happens over the next 12 hours probably.
Yep.
Waiting for the US market to open. I want to see whether or not we actually smash straight through. We come back to this 50 EMA, put in a nice higher low, a good healthy level of retracement. And then this is what I'm thinking, Seds. We all know that the double top, when bull market's on, it likes a bit of a fake situation.
Oh, definitely.
Right?
Definitely.
So I'm looking at this. We come down, it actually breaks, but the retest comes back above, retest, and then we get the monumental push.
That's exactly what
that
I'm
which
looking
then would
for.
hopefully give us that 125K, 130K Bitcoin level.
Yep.
But again, guys, this is all speculative. We're just reading the story. We get the start,
It
we
all
get the
comes
middle.
off probabilities, man, and
Exactly.
that's the thing. A lot of people do get it mixed up. They think like we have a glass ball. When we say where we're looking at targets, there's a lot of things that go into the factors of the analysis. Yes, there's your technical analysis where you can monitor where your buyers and sellers, if the buyer or seller pressure is increasing. But then there's also a lot of factors like things that are happening within within the US, which heavily impacts the market right now. Go back 10 years ago, and the market, or even 5 years ago,
Mm.
go back 5 years ago, and the market used to trade like a crypto stock. Seeing what's been happening lately, though, it trades a lot differently. It doesn't trade like a crypto anymore. It trades a lot more like a US tech stock. And that's majority of that is because of the reason of how much money is flowing in from these ETFs. There's that many Wall Street traders now that are jumping into the market that this market is now starting to trade like a US tech stock. So we have to trade like how they trade. And what do? They follow the macro information that's happening. And one of the things that I was personally looking at was the interest rates, which we're going to cover in a second, because when I said, I made a few posts on Facebook, I said, look, I think that 130K is quite possible. Doesn't mean we're going to go fucking vertical straight there. There's going to be a bit of chop in between. But I do just want to share a little bit about what I'm looking at to give you guys a bit more of an understanding. So similar to Maddie's analysis, come here, we take a look at my screen. What we can see is we are still ranging within a sideways pattern, but we are starting to put in a bit of bullish divergence now on the 4 hour. You can see price is making lows, wherefore the indicator is starting to make higher lows. Now, holds like this right here. If this holds and comes back and can hold above this 116,700, then I'd go back into thinking personally, but there is one thing that I want you to take a look at every week as a trader, something that you should look at, and that is the CME gap. Now, when we talk about a CME gap, what this means is on Friday, Saturday morning, when
Yes.
the Wall Street markets closed, the price of Bitcoin closed at this point here, which is around 113,000. Okay. When the market opened back up on Monday, it opened up much higher around here at 117,000. So over the weekend, there was volume that was being traded. And what we see is that actually puts in a gap here within the chart. What we can see right now is price is heading down back towards that gap. And I know Adrit, he's on this call. I can see Adrit, you're in the chat there. I know that you heard me say what I said on Tuesday when I said expect a bit of a dump before we continue up. And what we can see right now here, if you have a look at how many gaps there was in the market previously, so this one here actually, that wasn't a win. But if we go back here, that was a really good one. So that happened over the weekend. You can see there was a nice gap. Bang, price came in, filled up that gap before pumping. And I think it was something along the lines of, I think it's like 31 out of 33 CME gaps
I was
have
going to say
been.
about 90 to 95% of CME gaps have been filled historically.
They do get filled, yeah. Well, not all of them, but there's a very high probability of that. And that's what we're seeing right here, right now. So nice, healthy retracement. Market doesn't just go up only, unfortunately. Wish it did. But I still stand by my prediction. I still think 130,000 is something that we could see in the near term future within the next, yeah. I said 2 to 3 weeks. Given the information that we got, which I'm about to share with you guys, it might have been stretched out to 3 to 4 weeks now. But we'll go through that in a second. So first off,
It
as you
is.
can see here, Bitcoin is coming down to now fill in that CME gap, which has been marked out with a bottom of around 114,300. Now, does that mean to me that that is the bottom, 114,000? Well, potentially no. We could still dip a little bit lower. And the reason why is because, once again, that is a level of like a fair value gap there. That doesn't exactly mean that we're going to just bounce directly off there, go to the moon, and it's all happy days. We can still sink a little bit further below. Now, looking at the liquidation heat map, what we can see is there is a massive level of liquidation sitting at around 114,000. And what the big guys like to usually do is they'll come around, they'll take out those liquidations before continuing. Now, let me just change that to 3 day. I like to check the 3 day and the weekly. And if I'm having a look at the 3 day, you can see, boom, look at the amount of liquidation leverage there was there. It's taken it out, come back, formed another yellow box, bang, taken it out. But if we have a look at where a lot of the liquidation leverage is sitting now, it's actually sitting to the top of the range at around 119,000. So that leads me to think, well, will we come there next?
Well, look, guys, I'm going to show you what I want to see. I'm looking on Bitcoin, similar to Sed's, because what his thesis is and what he's seen in terms of the CME gap, I'm seeing a lot of that on the Bitcoin chart as well. Sed's, bring up my chart for one moment, just to sort of reiterate what you're saying, right? Similar sort of situation. This is what I'm looking at on the daily time frame. You're saying we're basically we've taken out the liquidity below at this point, right? I'm suggesting the fact as well, we've gone back to that 114K level. We did that
Yep.
this morning, right? Around that point in which we're talking about. So we're good. I do think if there's possible, we may get a wick down to that 50 EMA around 113-ish at the lowest. However, this is the kicker. This is where people I personally think are going to get caught out. If you look down below, guys, I'm using what's called the CCI indicator. It gives you the point of momentum within the market. Right now, we are basically in the extremely oversold area, minus 251,
Is that on CCI, is
right?
it?
That is on the CCI. So at these points, when you start to see this, this is where I'm saying if we've got the double top on the total chart, we're starting to bottom out on this pullback as well. It would not surprise me tonight. We get that big wick down. Come Monday, we're going to stabilize. Weekend movement, I don't even give a shit about it, to be completely honest. It's all bullshit, in my opinion. But I'm looking at this and going, hey, I don't see us just automatically dropping down to like 108 or something. Selling pressure has already been there. There's only so many sellers in the market at any one given point in time. Then buyers have to step in, and that's why the market moves. You have to move the liquidity around to move the price action. So what I'm looking at the moment, again, similar to you, we come back down, we solidify that next bottom, that higher low, and then I've got targets of 121. Once we get past 121, I've got targets up to 130. We've got to
Hmm.
watch the swings. We've got to watch the zigs and zags, as some people would say, right? But that's the way the markets move, guys. So it's exciting times. I'm loving it.
So, guys, one thing that I do want to point out is how the FOMC meeting, which we saw today, how that affects the price of Bitcoin. It's something that comes up, I think it's once every 45 days when the Fed gets together and they decide what the next levels of interest rates are going to look like. Now, if we go back here, I'm just using the archive website to try and pull back some earlier data for you guys. But as of Tuesday, we saw data that there was about I think it was 70% chance of an interest rate cut. Throughout the week, we got some more data that came out. Things like the GDP came out and also the PCE inflation. And we've now actually lowered the chance of that interest rate cut to now only 41.2%. So if you are new to trading, let me explain what that means for you. So if interest rates come down, what happens is money becomes cheaper to borrow. When money's cheaper to borrow, people go and take out more money from the bank. They go and finance a whole bunch of cash. Some of that trickles into the markets. And because of that, we tend to see a potentially, not all the time, but we do tend to see, in some cases, a increase in the price of things like stocks and Bitcoin. Also, when that happens, we're seeing what we call the M2 money supply, which gauges how much money is in circulation. That tends to increase. And when that increases, we tend to see the price of Bitcoin track to it with about a 90-day delay. So this all looked really good. And then when it came to predicting $130,000 Bitcoin, I was like, well, if we go back and have a look at the charts historically, right? Last time we got an interest rate cut, this is what happened. And this was the methodology of basically that I used. So I came back and I had a look and I said, all right, well, we got an interest rate cut in August 2024. From there, the price of Bitcoin, and we're not going to, we won't say this bottom here. We'll say from here where it actually got cut. From 54,000 we ran all the way up to, let's call it $106,000. It was almost a 100% gain. Now, should we have got the next interest rate cut coming into September? And if we do, that's what's more or less also kind of making me consider that a pump could be on the horizon. And this dump that we've just had was more or less just to shake out the latecomers who have bought, but doesn't rule out the fact that, yeah, we could still retrace a little bit deeper over the next couple of days as we head towards that target.
You
So,
know, the biggest thing,
what?
people expect the market to go vertical.
Yeah.
You're going to have a bad time,
Oh, of course.
right? Alt pump 65%. I called a 65% pump on Dogecoin. We called it on Link 40%. Solana off $126 to $203. Hit to an absolute T, came down.
I know. I know.
If
But
people are going to complain the fact that the market dropped 10%, I tell you now, crypto isn't for you.
Lewis, the bull market is over in 4 to 5 months. These rate cuts Not sure what they're going to do. Well, that's why you're here listening to us, mate, so we can more or less help you out a little bit on that. Yeah, we've been traders now for 10 years, so definitely
I want to get
seen a few bull markets,
I
seen
want to
a
get a
few bear
show of
markets.
hands in the chat. Who thinks the market still has a bull market, a bear market, a sideways market, an altcoin
I
season?
don't
The
think.
rest of the narrative markets that people want to put up there. Write it in the comments. I want you to be very clear and
Do
specific.
you think
Do
we
you
have a
think we
bull
still
market?
have these narrative markets? Because Seds and I are somewhat aligned on the fact that we are looking at very much what is starting to become a mature market. I think we just have a market and we're going to have these swings and roundabouts. And that is why, for me personally, fundamentals of understanding how to trade and how to actually take a profit is very important.
Oh, 100%. Now, look, I'm actually thinking, like I said earlier, because we're trading more so like a tech stock, that could change. But back to what we're talking about interest rates. So, what do we need to see interest rate cuts? We need to see inflation come down. Instead, what we saw was the PCE inflation actually went up. The expectation was 2.5%, and it came in at 2.6%, which means it's more hotter. And because of that, it's actually gone ahead and now lowered the chances of that interest rate cut from the 60, 70%, whatever it was, down to around 41%. That will be pending on the next set of data that comes out. And, if you are in Empire, that's something that we share and track pretty much every Tuesday. So, guys, if you are enjoying this content so far, please smash that like button, hit subscribe. It really does help us to get the algorithm working so that more people can come and see our show.
You know what? Before we became YouTubers,
Yeah.
I used to think when people used to say that on YouTube, like, shut up, like, why are you saying that?
Oh, it
But I
just
shit
helps
you
so
not, it
much.
actually
It
helps a
helps so
lot.
much. What I see is dropping
Now
comments in the
I
chat.
like everyone's videos. I'm like, oh, good job for putting yourself up there.
Yeah,
Good,
like it
awesome.
actually makes such a big difference. So, another reason why I think we may be seeing a bit of a pullback is because of the trade deals. They were meant to be due on August the 1st. And what we're seeing right now is some countries have not yet made their trade deals. Trump has extended US and Mexico, has extended Mexico for another 90 days, China for another 90 days as well, which has basically allowed us a bit of time. But they've come close to doing a deal, I'm pretty sure, with the EU and also Japan. And they're two quite big two very big economies. So looking forward to see what's happening there. But it is gonna cause a little bit of a shake up in the market it's like, what's the word for it? It's uncertainty.
Japan was a historic deal, by the way.
Was it?
Yeah, he came out and said it the other day. It was quite funny. Did you see the video of him talking to the EU?
No.
He's like, we just did a massive deal with Japan, and he like, oh, maybe we will do a bigger one. He's like,
Yeah.
well, not yet, sort of thing. So he was like, he was rubbing it onto it to say, hey, if you want to actually do something about this, let's do it. Love his negotiation tactic.
What's it called? The art of the deal. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So historically, when we had these trade tensions, we were seeing big dumps in the market. You see, the market is now saying that the trade war is starting to lose credibility, though, with President Trump seemingly randomly decided to raise tariffs from Canada to 25%. And, if we were to look at what that would have done 3, 4 months ago, it would have dumped the markets 10, 20%. And what we're seeing now, it's a much smaller dump. So the people are starting to get over this whole trade war. But nonetheless, today is the due date in the US, August the 1st. So I do expect a little bit of uncertainty to appear whilst we get answers to what is coming. Remember, markets, they just hate uncertainty. So one thing we did see that was really good this week, and another to the bullish side. Who wants to see a market recovery? Let me see in the chat. Type in recovery, or if you want to see a dump, let me know if you want to see prices come much lower. But one thing that we did see over the last couple of days was the US have come together and they've started to put all the legislation that they want in order to see cryptocurrency the US become the cryptocurrency hub of the world. One of the big things that they came out and said, and I think this is going to be a big thing when it comes to considering which altcoins I'm going to be looking at, is that moving on forward, there is a new rule that allows an ETF issuer's shares to be listed on an exchange if the underlying commodity is basically being listed on as a derivative, as a perpetual
This one
future for
here,
6
I don't
months.
know if I agree with this one. I'll be honest.
This is crazy. So if Coinbase, this is the whole buzz, right?
Is it derivatives or is it spot?
It's
That has to
no,
be.
no, no. It's not spot. It's a futures.
So there's a lot of tokens that will get listed as
Right.
futures
Yeah.
first because exchanges just want the trading volume and they collect the fees from it. So
So
this
which
is
states that commodity underlies a future contract. has been made available to trade on a designated contract market for at least 6 months. And
I really want to know some interpretation.
so what means for those of you who are new is that, and look, this is still very early days of all this legislation,
What is how
right?
this
So,
this
so,
is going
so don't quote
wild.
me on it. But what they're saying is if there's been a coin that's available to be leverage traded on Coinbase for 6 months or more, it can go straight for an ETF approval, meaning it's going to allow for big institutions to now start to buy that coin. I think it's great
That hurts
in
my
terms.
brain. Just
It's nuts. Like it's
pretty
mad in
wild.
terms of, hey, some coins are probably going to pump and they're going to potentially pump quite hard.
Could you imagine
But
little Pepe gets listed as a futures contract, and in 6 months' time, it's a mutual asset as an ETF?
if that happens, I'm going to do a John McAfee. All right. No, we don't have to worry about what that means. If you've been around for crypto for a long time, you know what a John McAfee means. But we are not going to John McAfee. Now, one of the things is hey, that's crazy. Like it means that I think a lot of these institutions are going to get wrecked. Personally,
I just can't believe that's a thing, man. I want to see. I want to see where this transpires.
yeah, me too.
We'll monitor this one closely. We'll keep everyone updated. But this for me, in honesty, in the crypto space, it's a bit much. You can't just start listing random coins as
Oh,
mature assets just because
huge.
they're on Coinbase. It's either that or Coinbase has to really amp up their credibility in terms of what coins they list
Yeah.
and be very, very specific. And then they're gonna basically elevate themselves as that really top tier institutional style of exchange.
Yep. Yep. Well,
But
it's
man, it's
hey, I don't make
it's a
the rules,
grey
but you
area.
know what? I'm going to play by them. So if
That's
they
what
are
we
going
do.
to allow for coins to be given an ETF after 6 months, I'm going to start looking. And for those of you who are going to be on my live stream call on Tuesday in Empire, we're going to be diving straight into which coins will be next for the ETF listing, which ones have been on Coinbase for what amount of time, and we'll see if we can get ourselves some nice entries on those coins during a dip. We're going to have a look at all that data, so make sure that you are on my call on Tuesday. And if you want access to the call, make sure to check out empirecryptotrading.com. Jump into our social media platform. It's free. You can come in, have a look. And if you do want access to my call, slide in my DMs and I'll give you guys a 14-day free trial.
I like it. I like a Drit's post. He just put in their little frog.
Little
Good
frog
job.
guy.
Good
We're going to
job,
have a look
man.
at that in a second. But first we have that rule coming in from the US. Now, for weeks, I've been telling the community on my live calls that there's going to be this new thing that's coming in. It's a whole made in USA narrative. And when I say made in USA, what that means is if you're the owner of a crypto company, you put your headquarters, if we move Empire to the US, we create a token and you guys trade the Empire token, it essentially means that it's going to be a tax-free haven. Like you won't have to pay tax on trading that token if it's made in the US and you live in the US. And some of those other companies will no longer have to pay tax if they're building a crypto-related project in the US. So what we're starting to think is there's going to be a large amount of money flowing into these made in the USA tokens, because if there's 10,000 crypto projects out there and 10 of them, which is probably not like an accurate figure, but if there's 10 of them that are doing real world things like Aave with DeFi or stablecoin assurance, something like that, and they've become tax free for you to trade them, why are you going to go and trade some other shitcoin when you're going to be pretty much tax free? Like on that. So we think a bit of trading volume could start to occur from that. And a recent post that we saw was here from Eleanor Terrett, which has come out and said, Scott Bessent, in the US government, he's basically come out and said, to start your companies here, launch your protocols here, and hire your workers here. You'll be glad you did. So, for a rumor,
Moving to the US.
maybe. I do want to go check out Five Guys. I've actually never been to the US before, and it's something that's, it's interesting.
Down for a Vegas trip.
Oh, look, if I go to Vegas, I might not come back, so that might be a bit dangerous. But any of you guys seen The Hangover?
I do like the concept though. It's smart. Like reality is, it is quite a smart move. If you want to pull in investment, if you want to bring that into the country, the easiest way is to offset the tax. And
Exactly.
especially from a crypto perspective, I mean, some people do get smashed from tax,
Oh, yeah.
right? And institutions and traders and big companies, they're always looking, how do I minimize tax? So to offer that out there will encourage innovation. And I think
Yeah.
it's smart.
Well, the best example of this is Dubai. Dubai offered 0% tax. Look at how many millionaires went over there, started businesses, started.
It's the entrepreneur lifestyle.
It's entrepreneur lifestyle over there. Now, the similar thing could happen in the US, but for the crypto space, and that would bring a lot of money to the US. But not only that, you're concentrating a potential pool of money to flow into certain coins rather than scanning the whole top 1,000 coins in the market. So it's another,
Well, you know my strategy, right? I choose a selected number of tokens,
yeah,
and those are the ones I trade. I don't
yeah.
need to go ahead and chart up 100 different tokens. I choose like 10, boom, that's the ones I'm trading. If I'm someone in the US right now and I know that's coming, I'm going to focus on charting those tokens.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much what I'd do too, personally. If I knew I'd
Happy
have to
days.
pay tax on them and they're good, that's probably what I do. Now, how many likes have we got? Because we do have some altcoin alpha that we want to give to you all.
Mm.
But we're only going to do it, I told you, if we get 30 likes. Now, there is 26 people on this call right now. And if I combine that, we're at 14 likes. Oh, well, it looks like we might not be able to get through the altcoin. So that would be an
We do have some juicy alpha on the
we do
altcoin.
have some
That is not a
alpha. We
lie.
definitely do. So, you know what? We'll go through the easy. Oh, no, we're not going to show you that. We'll go through this up first. So, first off, smash that like button. Please hit subscribe. Hope you're all enjoying this live stream. Let us know in the chat, guys. We're always open for feedback. You know, one thing about us doing these calls is we love them. We know at the start we had a lot of issues with microphones and tech, but we want to improve. So let us know in the chat if you're enjoying this call and if it's actually giving you some value. If no one comments, we're not going live next week.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, you know what? Look, it does take time out of our day to get ready for these calls.
You
So
know what, but I love it.
I enjoy it
I
too.
really do enjoy it.
Michael
Crypto Gorilla
Dungy,
Academy. Who is that?
that's Samsy.
Oh, is it?
That's Samsy.
Sammy.
Samsy's a gun.
Coach Sammy.
He helped us with a Pengu trade this week. I think some of the boys made 300%.
I think it was Luke or Michael Dungy. I don't know which one, but I saw an 800% Pengu trade. Good
I
job.
took my 80% profit. I was happy with
Did
that.
you shoot the 800%?
Nah, I didn't go for the moonshot. All right, so let's have a look at some alpha. We're going to do it anyway. We haven't got long to go.
We can at least push up surely to 20 likes.
Wait, let me refresh. Let's just have a quick look.
Jeez.
20 likes. Are we on?
19.
19.
Oh,
one more and we're good to go.
Maybe I should jump on my
Value
YouTube
is
account.
good. Luke Lewis said that the value is good, but I just want to bet we won't make to 130K. He's holding on to this, isn't he?
Well, Luke, every week, be here, mate, and we'll see how we go. We'll see if we can do something. Maybe we'll shoot you an Empire t-shirt just to sort of, you can represent.
All right, Lewis, I'll tell you something. If I'm wrong, we're going to send you an Empire t-shirt.
That's fair.
And I'm going to give you 30 days for free in Empire, valued at $250. So you can come and watch all the alpha calls and do a whole crypto education course, all on me, if I'm wrong, all right? So make sure you message me on Facebook, hold me to it, because
That's fair.
I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll send it to him.
That's fair.
All right? So let's see how this goes. Giddy up in the chat. Good stuff, guys. Thank you so much. So let's take a look at ETH. And we're going to get Maddie to do a chart on ETH in a second for us. So Maddie, prepare that one.
Got it ready to go.
But right now, what we're seeing is 35 million ETH tokens are now being staked. To put that into perspective, right? If you guys have been watching on these calls or been participating in these calls over the last couple of weeks, you'll know that I've been so bullish on ETH. I keep saying that these big institutional investors, they're coming and getting ready because the whole staking narrative is coming. Currently, there's 120 million Ethereum tokens in supply, and we're seeing 35 million of them being staked. That's close to about 30% of the supply. Now, if 30% of the supply is being taken off
when did
the
that
exchange,
come out? Lines up with something.
29th of July, so 2 days ago.
Makes yep.
Yeah. So if that has just come out, right, we're starting to see these big institutional flows, and we're seeing flows of like what we saw on Bitcoin. Like if we have a look at Farside, when the Bitcoin ETF pumped, we're seeing like 400, 600, 800 million dollars a day. And at that time, ETH was only getting like $20 million a day. Look at this now, like it's grown substantially, $500 million a day. The last couple of days have been a little bit quiet, but hey, after we're seeing this, after you're looking at the chart that we're about to show you, it kind of makes a little bit of sense for it to slow down. So, Matty, show us, mate.
That's saying $500 million worth, right?
Day.
Yep. That lines up perfect. I want to show you guys something. So first, I'm going to show you guys on a weekly time frame. It was expected for basically Ethereum to pull back here. I was expecting it to an absolute T off 3,936. Now pulled back. You can see here, guys, I use CCI quite religiously. It helps me build the momentum and understanding. But you can see last time we're at this level was in December 2024. We're up about that 215 mark on the CCI, so completely overbought. We're back up again that point right now, and we're getting that pullback. Last time we had a monumental pullback all the way down to $1,500. I don't think that's going to happen. That's not what I'm saying. What I am looking at though is right now, considering what Sed's just said in terms of the data set that you just presented,
Hmm.
a lot of the activity for Ethereum over the last week has taken place. You can see here at $3,550.
Yep.
Right, about 33 million Ethereum transactions.
Crazy.
Right, it is a lot. So you can see that's where price is bouncing from at the moment. If I do predict anywhere that we're going to drop to, say tonight, if a Bitcoin does pull back to that, 114, 113k and a half, roughly, I'm looking at
Wait, what did you
three.
say? 113k and a half.
Yeah, 113,500.
Mate, I'm already bald. I don't need the extra stress.
Hey, it's not that much, right? If that goes to that depth,
Yeah.
I do suspect it'll take to the bottom of this order zone. That's at $3,500. I don't personally see Ethereum dropping lower than that. If it does, it breaks the support level and then makes it another challenge. If that does break, then you're looking at back down to 3,300. But I'm looking at this pattern here, and you can see this to the left versus where we are now. Ideally, what I want to see here is I just want to see some simple consolidation take effect
Mhm.
to help build the momentum because, like anyone, I want the markets to go up, even though I'm very much look at it from a realistic standpoint versus moonshots. I do want to see the fact that this consolidate and ideally pump us back above 4,100 on Ethereum.
Personally, I think we're going to slide below 3,500 because I think we're going to take out those wicks. So go back onto the 4 hour, you'll be able to see it. Definitely, like, come down and they shake out all the last people who recently bought in. There'll be a whole bunch of leveraged there. To me, I've been watching this bull market, and honestly, we're just continuously seeing the lows get
Flush.
swept. Yeah, it's just flush after flush.
Well, the lowest flush I've got here, if it breaks below this level, then I'm thinking we're going to see much lower. The lowest flush I've got here is 3,400.
Just so common to just take out those wicks and then bounce straight back up within the next 12 to 16 hours, isn't it? It's just one of those markets. So, well, that's one of the coins that we are watching, and I was going to share.
We're at 23 likes. We're gaining momentum here. Let's go. We might be on.
One of the
Give us a refresh. Do we have any more?
Let me just take a quick look. One of the things that I saw
I think
on
YouTube's liking us. It's sending
Ethereum.
more people.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when people start commenting. That's why we really appreciate you guys when you comment because
you can see it.
Brings more people onto our stream. You know, we're here to have a laugh, have a good time, and share some crypto
alpha.
wisdom and alpha.
So, I like it.
Looking here at the chart, and this is one of the main strategies that I personally like to trade, is I saw that Bitcoin was making higher highs. Sorry, Ethereum was making the higher highs. And if you go and have a look at the lower lows that was being produced on the daily time frame on the momentum indicators, that to me was enough to say, hey, we're coming down for a bit of a pullback. I managed to get my short in at around 3,900, in a bit of profit at the minute. But yeah, right now I think that it's possible that we still come down and potentially take out these lows. So
what you're saying there is not rocket science, right? And
No.
even what I'm saying, right?
No, like it's
what
so
I mean
easy.
by that, you look at it and it's the emotions that catch people out nine
Like,
times
look,
out of 10.
up,
You got
down. Momentum is coming down.
Like, it is as clear as mud, but it is obvious when you try and look at the charts from no bias.
Yeah.
And especially like if you're trading leverage positions or anything like that, you really have to remove that bias approach of like, I can only make money when it goes up. Because those
Well-
situations there, you got to make money when it goes down, and you got to work out how to do that.
Well, that's the thing, yeah. So you really, if you are a leverage trader, which you can make more money, but also includes more risk, you can definitely make and lose money in both directions. But it does give you the opportunity to be able to do that, which is important, you know.
Yeah.
And as a trader, well, what do you do when the market comes down? You sit there twiddling your thumbs. No, you need something to do, right? All right, we got another altcoin that I want to share with you guys, some information that's that could be a little bit game changing. You could be a bit early to this, so pay attention here with this one. So earlier on this call, if you were here, I told you guys that this whole made in USA thing is starting to kick off. And what we're seeing is Sonic has come out and said that they're getting ready to expand Sonic access in the US. There we go, what we were talking about before, money coming into the US. Tax-free. Not confirmed yet, but definitely rumored and has been spoken about by the Trump Foundation, the Trump family multiple times. Also, they're looking at kicking off...
Are we going to label them the new Nancy Pelosi? We just follow the money flow?
No comment on that one. But definitely keeping your eyes on Sonic. They're looking at kicking off institutional expansion. Does that mean that they're going to be listed on Coinbase for futures? Are they already? That's a question for you guys to go out and take a look at. A new phase begins soon. Maddie, do us a chart on Sonic. I want to have a look. I actually want to get myself some for the longer term, but I actually haven't had a chance to look at the chart. I was too busy getting ready for this call. But we've got one more altcoin to share with you guys after this as well. So, guys, make sure you stay tuned. Smash that like button. The more comments, likes that come through, the more alpha we're going to drop.
So I'll keep this one really, really simple for everyone because Sonic used to be the old FTM, right?
Phantom, yeah.
Phantom. I used to absolutely, and the guys that follow me, have been following me for a while, they're in the chat. You guys would know, I used to love smashing trades on Phantom. Absolutely ripped it to pieces. But I haven't really traded Sonic much.
Wait, before you say anything, this was that coin that you used to always call me and say, when it goes, it goes. Is that right?
When it goes, it goes. And it did. It used to absolutely launch on both directions, up, down. It was great. But I haven't really traded Sonic much. I won't lie. But I keep it really simple. When I'm looking at charts like this, I'm looking at what is the higher probability where tokens are going to bounce from. Right?
Yeah.
What's the chart going to look like? Keeping this really, really simple for everyone on the call. You can see here, there is a lot of transactions taking place. I use these things, we're calling VOZs now, right? Volumetric order zones.
Positives.
VOZs. That's Jordan Heaton came up with that one. We'll call them a VOZ. So now we just call them VOZs.
Positive,
Right?
Okay.
VOZ. We can see 216 million transactions of Sonic taking effect here. And if you look to the left of this chart, it is quite obvious that this is where buyers have stepped into the market on numerous occasions. Apart from this one here, says, as you were talking about earlier, get the nice big wick down, only for price to come back up.
That's the accumulation wick right there, yeah?
And boom, back straight up 20% within the matter of, say, 24 hours.
Yep.
So that's what I'm looking at the moment from Sonic. And if I put this just to the daily, just to give perspective on everything, right? Look at the range in which this has been trading on. It's a 32% range. It's been in that range since the start of June. So it is very much like it is low. Don't get me wrong. Crypto can drop lower. This is one thing I have to say to everyone.
It's like catching a falling knife sometimes.
It's like catching a falling knife sometimes. But equally, when people tell me it can't go much lower, I say this is crypto. It could go to the floor.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
But I am watching this. I'm not in this by any means right now, guys. Full transparency. So I'm just looking at this and going, hey, if we do get some confirmations of these lows, right? We do see, hey, we're going to actually hold. We get some bullish divergence start to kick in, some sort of reversal pattern, a morning star, something that's going to give me a bit of substance. Because right now I've got no confirmations. I don't enter on no confirmations.
That just looks like it's fallen off a cliff at the minute.
Exactly. So I'm just going to watch this for the time being. But this is the level in which I am considering at the moment. Anything down to basically 29 cents I'm looking at.
You know what I love though?
Setting an alert down here actually while we're on the call.
You know what I love? I love these. Let me just open up S. Up on my chart here. I'll just go over to. I love it when the markets they trick you, right? They trick you. What they go ahead and do is they'll put in a really nice shit pattern like this, right? Where it's like
it just makes you not want to trade it.
It does heavily.
You look at it and you go, this is not consistent price action. But then you look to the left and you go, hey, you're just moving the market back to where it was.
They'll pump it up, and you can see same thing. There was a bunch of people who took short positions here. It's come shaking them out, just like people took longs here, and it's shaking them out there. I love it when they do this though, when they send price up and then they dump it straight back down. And most people look at this and they're like, okay, that's GG, good game. Like, it's not looking good. It's going to come down. But then it goes like this.
Yep.
And to me, I look at this and I'm like, that's a swing. And if it then starts to go up, it then becomes a swing failure pattern. And swing failure patterns, when they fail, tend to be pretty damn bullish. But same thing goes, well, I'm on the 3-hour fall. That's weird. I pressed the wrong button. I don't even know why that's in my favorites.
The big thing with that is as well, as you're on it, right? Just where the whole people get caught up in the fact of buy high, sell low. Because they chase that momentum, that big green situation that you can see there on Sed's chart. They chase that big green situation to go, hey, we're going to get this massive breakout. But they don't realize the price actually just moved 25%. So it's natural for it to come back down. And then they go, you know what, I sold and then it rocketed. Well, you brought in that resistance. One of my simple rules, I was speaking to a student today. He goes, Matt, is this where you would go like take shorts? I said, no, but you got no confirmation. I made it really simple. This is what I do. I long at support and I short at resistance. I never long into resistance and I never short at support.
You're a machine.
Like,
let him know, guys, facts. Is Matty a machine? Let him know.
Is that simple facts or what?
It's simple facts. It's simple facts. You're right.
Laws of probability.
You're right.
That's it.
Well, I want to just have a look. This is just a prediction. Okay. Now, don't quote me on this. And this is This is not financial advice. Nothing on our calls are financial advice. We are here to spread news and
And
education
have fun.
and have fun. One thing that I like to look out for is the 1.13 Fibonacci level, right? And take a stab in the dark. I'm going to set an alert at 28 cents.
Or you should
Right.
call it Says the Jet, like I did on your the other day.
Says the jet. All right, let's do that. So let's set an alert and let's double click on this alert and let's change that to alert me with a message that says SEDS is a jet. So let's just
The
go
guys,
ahead.
the reason I told Seds to write it is that one the other day I put an alert on his chart, Stella as a god, and it was for the TA, and it was Bitcoin hitting 114K, and it went off. And he goes, "Did you put an alert on my computer for Stella as a god?"
So at around 28 cents, usually a common level of manipulation is the 1.13. I'm going to take a stab in the dark and say we come down to that 1.13. This ends up higher, putting in a potential bullish divergence across 2 out of 3 of my indicators, and then we start to go up. Now, this is just a prediction. I'm just having fun here doing this. So don't follow this if you don't know what you're doing. Especially don't go and trade this. Make up your own decision when it comes to trading. But we do have one last coin, and then Matty's going to do his shitcoin update that he does every week.
What else we got?
Starts with a B, ends with a B. Leave that for Monday night. I have to do it. It's in the cover image of this video.
Okay, fine.
So there is one
All
more.
right.
There is one more,
Give
and
the news alpha on it.
BNB. So what we're seeing is there are companies listed on the stock exchange. To make it even funnier, the company that's doing this is called Vape.
I can't believe that.
Mate, they're starting to really take the piss now with how they're doing this. But there is a company called Vape, and what they're doing is they're raising $500 million to go out and buy BNB token to put that in their company's treasury. Now, this information just come out a couple days. From my understanding, they haven't yet bought their BNB. The BNB is definitely one coin that I'm keeping my eyes on because $500 million worth of buying pressure on a coin that look, anyway, that could drastically affect the price. So, Matty, give us a look. What do you think about BNB?
Look, we spoke about this on Monday night because we had this massive breakout, and we're talking about do you short it, do you long it? And I sort of simply said the fact that this thing is on an absolute, despite the fact that we've got the charts in play to said, hey, we might get a pullback, there was no confirmation of a pullback. So I sort of left this one. I said to the team, look, I'm not confident. Let's just leave it be. It's on a tear. If you're not in, you're not in. You don't want to short something and it continues to pump. You get a 10% wick up to the top side, bang, you're liquidated, right?
Sometimes it's better to sit out.
Sometimes you got to be patient. I was explaining this to students today. I said, you're not going to have opportunities to trade every single day. It is what it is. If I trade 3 or 4 times a week and I make my, just leave it at that, right? It's a happy week. I don't have to do 30 trades a week to be happy.
Nah,
right?
No.
So
that just makes you bald like me.
Yeah. So what I'm looking at BNB, to really summarize, guys, I'm running what's called a trend-based Fibonacci. I love Fibs, if you haven't realized. It is my absolute godsend. The guys in the chat and the ladies would know that jump on my calls. Fibs is king for me. So I'm looking at this right now, but we held at this 1 Fibonacci ratio. If price doesn't hold there today, I'm thinking we see back to $740 BNB.
Yep.
I do suspect that to be quite a reasonable level of support. And it does line up very closely with the order zone you can see here at 400,000 transactions a BNB, and also very close to 280. So by the time price does come back down to this level, this should hopefully come very close to it. You have the confluence of support. So I would be looking, if I was a betting man, okay, I would suggest we're going to see $750, $140 BNB again.
Well, look, you got to think as well, yeah? Like these that are going to go and buy, you think they're just going to go and buy 500 million at the top? No. No.
Why would you do that?
People jumped in early because they got excited. They're like, oh, they're going to buy $500 million. And then, of course, they're going to let it come down before they go ahead and buy it. They're not just going to go FOMO the top. Like, come on, guys. Let's be real. Now, guys, Matty's going to do his standard shitcoin procedure. But before we do, I did just want to say, guys, if you enjoyed today's video, let us know in the comments. Make sure you've hit like and click the notification bell because we're actually going to be doing these calls every single Friday at 4 o'clock to bring you guys the alpha. We have been doing these now for the last couple of weeks.
Nice crypto wrap up.
Yeah, nice little weekly wrap up. We can see each week we are growing. So thank you so much for your support. And now, Matty, show us your...
All right, guys.
Oh, come on.
We got to do it. Everyone knows it. Come on, I want to see it in the
For
chat,
those of
guys.
you
Put
who
it
are
in
new,
there. You know what it is.
For those of you who are new, Maddie's
You know what
obsessed
it
with
is.
this shitcoin. I don't like it personally. I do not condone it. I think it is heavily gambling casino, and this could go to completely zero.
I have been very adamant that this is a casino wars
I
situation.
just make sure I reiterate it I can't even talk. I just make sure that I continuously talk about it on every call because we do know this is very high risk and could go to zero.
It is. It is.
So
I allocate very small.
I've only invested what I can afford to lose, and which is I put a couple $100 bucks in this.
Didn't I got ya?
You convinced me because I didn't stop hearing about it. We're sitting here in the office, and every day it's Seds, did you check your little Pepe? It's almost sold out. I was just like,
All right, bring it up. Let's
show me,
go,
bro. Come on, what are you looking at?
All right, guys. We always got to talk about it. We got to follow. I said we're going to follow this weekly.
Eat my words so hard if this pumps.
Look, all I'm saying is they're close to raising $15 million from a public launch.
Yeah, that's a lot for a meme.
It is a lot, is it not?
It is.
Right? It is a lot for a meme toy. It is at stage 10 nearly. There is 9 more stages after this. Said it would take till the end of the year. I'm calling this within the next month. This is probably going to be sold out.
Look, potentially.
But again, I put $1,000 into this, guys. I'm not going to go stupid and waste 10 G's on this shit coin. I'm happy if this does a 3 or 4x and I make $4,000.
Hey, Matty, we actually got more than 30 likes, so I might share a shitcoin too.
Save it for next.
Save it for next week.
We've done enough today.
Make sure you
We're nearly there for an hour, guys. We're going to wrap it up. It's the weekend time.
Guys,
have fun. Thank you very much.
It's the weekend. Go see your mates. Go have a beer for me and yourself. And then we're going to see you next week on Friday for more crypto wisdom, more alpha. Stay safe out there. See you next week. Adios. Stop streaming. Where are we? There we are. See you guys.